From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning. We are now tracking two large wildfires within the viewing area. The first one being the Williams Mine Fire and this Canyon Fire. This popped up yesterday in southern Morrow County. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the Williams Mine Fire first. This one is worth talking about because the northern flank of this fire is very active because of all the hot and dry weather. We're kind of expecting that to happen yesterday. So the acreage update is lagging behind. We'll get better, fresher numbers that are more representative of this a little bit later today. But it's still at 31% contained. Then with the Canyon Fire, this is 190 acres. We don't know much about containment. It is off of I believe that's supposed to be Rock Canyon Road near Three Rock Creek in Morrow County. This is a pretty sparsely populated portion of Morrow County, but it's a large fire nonetheless. Okay, here's the bottom line for the forecast as we move forward. The heat wave continues. It is going to last through Sunday. We'll have these small thunderstorm chances for Saturday and Sunday. That's going to up the fire potential as well. But thankfully, we have some fall-like weather on the way for next week that's maybe going to save us. But first, I'll talk about just how hot it's going to be for today. And that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, crash after crash in the Tri-Cities impacted drivers during their afternoon commute. We have the details on all of them.
And youth gang violence is a big problem in Yakima County, but the community is helping tackle the problem by creating a task force. We've got the details just ahead.
And still ahead, an update on the man accused in the shootings along I-5 in King and Pierce counties. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Friday, September 6th. It is just about the weekend.
It's the weekend. Happy Friday to everybody. We're going to start your top stories off with an update, really, in a homicide investigation out of Yakima.
The police department has arrested a suspect in the murder of 30-year-old Tolerance Jackson on August 23rd. Last week, the Yakima Valley Association of Faith Communities held a moment of blessing for Jackson at the corner of North 18th Avenue and Willow Street. That's where he was shot and killed.
Authorities say they have arrested a 32-year-old man at a home in Yakima and are hoping to charge him with murder. People who knew and cared for Jackson say that while he had his struggles, he was loved and he will be missed.
Youth gang violence is a serious problem in Yakima County, which has had more than a handful of gang-related homicides, either perpetrated by young people or involving teenage victims.
Now, Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us community partners are revitalizing a task force designed to reduce youth gang activity.
In 2018, the city of Yakima got $150,000 in grant funding from the state to create the Gang Reduction and Intervention Task Force, or GRIT for short, a team made up of community partners.
Such as ESD 105 and the Yakima School District, Conference of Mental Health and OIC, Yakima Police Department, Yakima County Commissioners, Yakima County Prosecutor's Office.
Working toward a shared goal.
To try to stop youth from entering gangs and then taking part in them.
Initial funding put toward bringing partners together and mentorship programs.
Bring together people that were either had been in gangs and that had gotten out of them and that we were asking to help really work on those youths that were involved in gangs to get them out of gangs.
An additional $230,000 in federal grant money put toward a 3-year Yakima Youth Leadership Program in local middle schools, partnering with ESD 105 to bring in education advocates for the participants. But several years later, with no more grant funding,
we kind of slowed down and it just kind of stalled.
Now the Yakima City Council voting to transfer oversight of the GRIT program over to its steering committee.
We're re-energizing GRIT, and without money, we're trying to make sure that we move forward.
The steering committee says they're currently working to bring in more partners that will help them with their efforts moving forward. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Turning to fire news now, fire officials are investigating the cause of a fire that happened on Bateman Island yesterday afternoon. The fire broke out around 3 p.m. It spread quickly due to the dry and windy conditions.
Kennewick Fire, Benton County Fire District 4, and Richland Police were just a few of the agencies at the scene. We're working to learn more, and we'll bring you an update on this story at applevalleyNewsNow.com. In a follow-up on the Pasco family that lost everything to a house fire Tuesday night, a GoFundMe page has been created to help them out.
The family of 11 had to leave their home because of a fire in the garage. According to the creator of the GoFundMe page, everything in the house was lost to either fire or smoke damage. The family friend is hoping the community will donate to help fund the purchase of essentials and temporary housing.
We got them a motel, which they're staying in 2 separate rooms. We're looking for a place for them to, for the next, after this weekend, we're looking for a place that it's at least a 4 to 5 bedroom house so that they can accommodate with their 9 children. They are the best people. They are so wonderful that so he is involved in a church service as a deacon.
You can find the direct link to the GoFundMe by going to our website, and as for a cause, it's still under investigation.
Now to a few crashes that snarled the afternoon commute in Tri-Cities yesterday. Here's a rollover crash that impacted traffic during rush hour in Pasco.
It happened on Interstate 182 just before the Broadmoor Road 100 exit. This crash caused traffic to be backed up from Road 100 to the Queensgate exit in Richland.
State Route 240 was also backed up from the Pasco exit to the Columbia Center Boulevard exit.
While first responders were dealing with that crash, there was another crash, this one at the bridge just before the George Washington Way exit on I-182 in the westbound lanes. This crash backed up traffic to the Road 68 exit.
Only one smashed car was at the scene, with Washington State Patrol directing traffic. Injuries are unknown at this time.
At the same time, Kennewick Police and Kennewick Fire were dealing with this rollover crash that happened on Skagit Avenue. Kennewick Fire officials tell us a car turned onto Skagit from North Edison too fast and tried to avoid a car backing out of its driveway.
The 2 cars crashed and one of them flipped. A driver's leg was injured, but first responders say he will be okay. In community event news this morning, the Grace Kitchen's biggest fundraiser of the year is coming up.
The Grace Gala happens October 25th at 6 p.m. at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick. It's the 3rd annual gala where the community raises money to support the women in employment at the Grace Kitchen.
The Grace Kitchen is a nonprofit that gives survivors of trafficking, addiction, homelessness, and poverty the opportunity to get a job and learn important job and life skills. 75% of the kitchen's funding comes from the community through this fundraiser, while the other 25% of the operating budget is funded through the kitchen's pasta and catering program.
But we really see these as tools to build confidence for the women we serve. We have a heavy focus on professional development because our 18-month program actually graduates women into full-time living wage jobs so they can rise out of poverty and stand on their own 2 feet and break those cycles of trafficking and gang affiliation and addiction in our city.
Bookwalter is the gala's wine sponsor, and Amanda Lorraine, the founder of the Grace Kitchen, says it will be a lovely evening to get dressed up and also hear from the guest speaker. That's Father Greg Boyle, who is the founder of the largest gang intervention employment program in the world.
Again, the event is Friday, October 25th at 6 p.m. in Kennewick.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, new findings on the use of e-cigarettes in teenagers, and it's positive. We tell you what the National Youth Tobacco Survey has found coming up in your health headlines.
But first, Josh will have your weather forecast. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Off the clock? And you're relaxing in that old thing?
Come on, a little duct tape. It's good to go.
Well, right now, you can score amazing comfort that's built to last with savings up to 50% during the extended Labor Day sale at Furniture Row. Shop today because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Find huge savings on living, dining, bedroom, and mattresses. Or get 60 months no interest. But don't wait. The extended Labor Day sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, cranny, nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Only in college football.
Yeah, that's how I get by. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Sometimes life is a funny way of turning sideways. Like when your kid decides they're a professional stylist the morning of picture day.
Here we go.
Or when your to-do list isn't quite done.
You went to Rite Aid, right?
Or when you're sure you packed everything you need, but you actually need one more thing.
We forgot our prescriptions.
We
got you. Are we happy?
We are happy. Find everything you need?
Yep. Yeah, life never really goes the way you plan, but that's why we're here. It means more at Rite Aid.
Thank you to our incredible community for 5 years of unwavering support. At Morphine Law Firm, we're committed to justice for all, and that's just one of the reasons why we offer free consultations. Call us today at Morphine Law Firm.
This morning, yes, Old Dominion is on their way to GMA, the morning concert event. Old Dominion, this morning, only on Good Morning America's Summer Concert Series, sponsored by Wayfair.
Stacy Lee, Capkey View First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. You're definitely seeing a lot more vivid colors on this map as opposed to what we were seeing earlier this week. And it's because everything is hotter and drier and we're getting winds coming up out of the south. And so that's bringing a lot of the Oregon fire smoke into our neck of the woods. So we're seeing, you know, where you're seeing these beige colors, that's where some of the thickest haze is up in the sky for this morning. I want to show you what happens to all this over the next couple of days. And so we'll put this into motion with Futurecast. This is by 5 p.m. And again, it's really going to be on the periphery of our viewing area. That's where we'll see the thickest the haze and smoke. But then into Saturday, I want you to watch what happens specifically into Saturday night. As this model, and these models can be finicky, so maybe take this with a couple grains of salt, but there is an indication here that there could be some very thick smoke entering Morrow County. So we'll see if that actually pans out or not. But if you have a pre-existing respiratory illness in Morrow County, it wouldn't be the worst idea to keep the N95 mask close by. Okay, current temperatures for this morning in the 50s and 60s, so I think most of us would probably need a light jacket. Maybe you could get away without one in Walla Walla and Pendleton, as it is very mild in the foothills for this morning. Here's your coldcast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff for this morning. Obviously, it's going to be t-shirt weather a little bit later today, as we're going to be near 100 degrees, 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. I'll show you how this heat continues into the weekend, and then I'll show you a big-time pattern flip for next week. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In a health alert this morning, experts are sounding the alarm as thousands of drug manufacturing plants are overdue for FDA inspections. The Associated Press has found roughly 2,000 pharmaceutical manufacturing firms have gone without an inspection since before the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic is being blamed for the backlog as it shut down inspections worldwide. The overdue plants make hundreds of critical medicines, including antibiotics, blood thinners, and cancer therapies.
The failure of the FDA's Office of Pharmaceutical Quality to go out and inspect these establishments is a public health concern. We need the FDA to conduct these inspections, or we need some other mechanism to ensure the safety and efficacy of these medicines.
Most of the overdue plants are in the U.S., but more than 340 are in India and China, countries that together make up the largest source of drug ingredients used in low-cost U.S. prescriptions. Last year, tainted eye drops from an Indian factory led to an outbreak of antibiotic-resistant bacteria that sickened more than 80 Americans, killing 4 of them and blinding more than a dozen others. The plant never registered with the FDA. E-cigarette use among teenagers is at its lowest level in a decade. That's according to data from the National Youth Tobacco Survey published by the CDC and the FDA yesterday. Students in grade 6 through 12 were surveyed at the end of the 2023-24 school year. About 1.6 million of them reported currently using e-cigarettes. That's about a 25% drop from the previous year. Usage is down even further from 2016, when more than 5 million students were using the nicotine products. Students were considered to be current users if they reported using a tobacco product within the last 30 days. Experts say it's encouraging to see tobacco use among teens dropping, but warn any amount of tobacco use is unsafe. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, spending on luxury goods has been slowing globally, and now it's hit Burberry. Coming up, we have details on why it's no longer one of the UK's most valuable companies. We'll be right back.
Back to school. That means more kids will be out in traffic when you least expect them. They don't know the rules of the road yet, but you do, so drive safely. This message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Okay, ideas, where are we going?
I got one.
What about a comedy show?
I've seen you, I've swiped on you. No.
Oh, I got an idea.
I feel hungry.
Let's go.
Whatever your vibe,
Tacos.
Definitely tacos.
find it in the all-new, all-hybrid Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we are having our summertime sales event. Discover our wide variety of buildings, including custom-build options to fit your unique needs. From now until the end of the month, get 20% off all our in-stock inventory. That's right. We offer free and fast delivery, and we're committed to unbeatable quality and service. Come visit Columbia Basin Building and Sheds in West Richland and Sunnyside for the best deals of the season.
The savings continue with Cascade Farm and Outdoors' latest mailer. It's the perfect time to get the perfect pair of jeans. Save now on women's premium jeans. Stock up on Golden Fire or Lignetics 40-pound stove fuel pellets. Plus, compare and save on Nutrina NatureWise 40-pound layer feed crumbles or pellets on sale now. Reap big savings with our latest mailer, online or in store at Cascade Farm and Outdoor. Northwest, homegrown, honest values.
Hey, Tri-Cities! It's Eric the Peanut Guy with your Tri-City Dust Devils. It's the final week of Dust Devils baseball in 2024, so don't miss your chance to catch a game and give me a high five. Friday, September 6th, it's Family Feast Night with $2 hot dogs and more, thanks to Atomic Dermatology. And a Rooster Tails jersey auction, thanks to BNSF Railway. On Saturday, we'll light up the September sky with fireworks, thanks to Cascade Natural Gas. Visit the official ticket site at DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Back to school. That means more kids will be out in traffic when you least expect them. They don't know the rules of the road yet, but you do, so drive safely. This message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Apple Valley News Now, the official television home of the Seattle Kraken. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have another red flag warning in place for the Williams Mine fire. This goes until 11 p.m. this evening. Remember, there was one in place yesterday, and that fire is now misbehaving, especially the northern flank of it. So we're expecting some similar activity for today. And it's going to be because it's going to be so hot and dry. We have this heat advisory that goes until 9 p.m. on Saturday for most locations within the viewing area. But I think that this is probably going to get extended into Sunday, and I'll provide some evidence to back that up coming up in a second. But first for today, yeah, it's going to be scorching out there. We'll be about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. It's going to feel even hotter in the sunshine. We'll have plenty of that for today, and it's going to be some hazy sunshine. And then for tonight, overnight lows are going to be pretty mild. Most of us don't even dip below 60 degrees, and if you do, not by much. 59 for the Tri-Cities. Clear skies if you look past the haze, and we'll have more haze into Saturday. Maybe a smidge cooler for Sunday, but still within the range for that heat advisory to get extended. I'm blocking something that I think you'd want to see, so I'm going to step off real quick and look at this. Finally, some fall-like weather into Wednesday and Thursday, as we'll be about 10 degrees below average for this time of the year. So a big flip of the pattern. Also, that's going to come along with some shower chances increasing for Wednesday in particular. But I want to back things up to Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, there's going to be a chance for afternoon and evening thunderstorms up in the Cascades. That'll pose a fire start risk. And then on Sunday, it's a more equitable chance for showers and thunderstorms. So that'll also pose a big time risk for fire starts. We'll have much more to say about that coming up in the next half hour. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Near 100 through Sunday, turning much cooler by midweek next week, thank goodness. Then for Yakima, small thunderstorm chances for Sunday, cooler and wetter weather sets in for next week. And then for Ellensburg, dangerous fire weather set up on Sunday with that chance for lightning, also tracking the very breezy conditions starting on Sunday, so kind of a double whammy in that regard. And then for Hermiston, triple-digit heat possible for Friday and Saturday. It'll feel like a different season entirely by Wednesday. And then for Walla Walla, thunderstorm chances increasing for Sunday, trending much cooler after that with showers possible again by Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Josh. In your business headlines this morning, the Department of Transportation has launched a formal investigation into the frequent flyer programs of the country's 4 biggest airlines. Letters were sent yesterday to the CEOs of American, Delta, Southwest, and United Airlines. Airline executives are to provide data and information on how passengers can accrue and spend frequent flyer miles. This probe will focus on how customers are affected by the devaluation of earned points, extra fees, hidden pricing, and reduced choices. In a statement, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says Americans rely on their reward points. Industry group Airlines for America is saying the carriers are transparent about the programs. The airlines now have 90 days to send all the documents. 7-Eleven has rejected the multi-billion-dollar offer to merge with Circle K. The 7-Eleven chain is owned by Japan's Seven & i Holdings. It's indicated the $39 billion bid from the Canadian owner of Circle K was too low and that its global business was worth more. Analysts previously said the combining of the two would have controlled nearly a fifth of the U.S. convenience store market. In a statement today, Seven & i Holdings said it was open to sincerely consider any proposal in the best interests of its shareholders. And a British luxury brand, best known for its trench coats and handbags, is no longer one of the UK's most valuable companies. Burberry is suffering a steep fall in value following a plunge in sales and profits. The company's poor performance is the reason it'll now drop out of Britain's main stock index, and that's according to the London Stock Exchange. The century-and-a-half-old fashion house is now valued at 56% less than it was worth last year. Burberry saw sales tumble more than 20% in the April to June period, signaling another tough year ahead. And in the year ending in March of this year, Burberry's profit plunged 34%. Also in July, the company replaced its chief executive after another disappointing quarter. It also warned that profit in the financial year ending in early 2025 was likely to be lower than expected. And spending on luxury goods has been slowing globally, hitting not only Burberry, but also higher-end brands. And their woes mostly reflect a striking turnaround in spending by Chinese shoppers. And China is the world's #2 economy. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, we told you Anna Sorokin, aka Anna Delvey, the fake German heiress, was announced to be on the Dancing with the Stars show. And that left many confused because she's on house arrest. While we're learning she'll be sporting her ankle monitor while on the show. More details are coming up in your entertainment headlines.
Say less, get more. Buy one, get one for $1. Choose from Bacon McDouble, McChicken, McDouble, or Hot and Spicy McChicken. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey there, are you ready to quackercise? It's the best exercise to get ready for the duck race. I know you guys are ready. Are you? It's coming September 14th. Don't miss your chance to win big at the Mid-Columbia Duck Race. The grand prize is a 2024 Toyota Corolla Cross, plus other fantastic prizes. Support your community, lend a hand, buy a duck, and keep the tradition alive. The Mid-Columbia Duck Race, presented by Toyota and Audubon Auto Care Center.
The Labor Day savings have been extended. One more week at Walker's Furniture. Save like never before with discounts on all your favorite brands during the biggest sale of the season. Or enjoy 0% interest for 5 years and pay over time. But hurry, because these limited time offers end soon.
Beautiful new bedroom sets, stylish living rooms, and quality dining sets are all on sale.
Enjoy extended Labor Day style and savings this week at Walker's.
Did you know?
Occupational medicine focuses on the prevention and treatment of work-related injuries. Astria Health works directly with employers to keep employees safe and business running. We offer pre-employment physicals, DOT physicals, drug and alcohol screenings, L&I exams, and work-related injury care. For more information, visit us online at astria.health. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Hash browns are the French fries of breakfast.
Who says it's not French fries that are the hash browns of lunch and dinner?
That's also true.
BOGO for $1. Choose from a sausage McMuffin, burrito, McGriddles, biscuit, or hash browns. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
ET and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday, we told you all about the contestants that will be competing on the 33rd season of Dancing with the Stars.
We've learned some new developments about Anna Delvey Sorokin. She will be competing in the season while wearing her ankle monitor. So we're going to backtrack and explain who Anna is because some of you may be unfamiliar with the name. So Anna Delvey Sorokin was convicted back in 2019 of grand larceny and other financial crimes after she pretended to be a German heiress with a trust fund.
In layman terms, she pretended to have a lot of money, became a socialite in the New York scene, and fooled a lot of rich and powerful people. She served 2 years in prison and an additional 18 months detained by immigration authorities for overstaying her visa.
There have been documentaries on her case, and Netflix dramatized her story in the 2022 series called Inventing Anna. Recently, Sorokin has been living under house arrest in New York with an ankle monitoring device while she appeals her deportation order.
In the meantime, she says she has permission from U.S. Immigration and Customs to travel to L.A., where Dancing with the Stars is produced. So if you guys like drama TV series, you have to check out Inventing Anna. It's really good and explains her story really well.
Oh, okay.
It's a little dramatized, but good TV.
Yeah.
But how do you dance like with an ankle monitor?
How do you get permission? That's where I'm
They could have
confused.
picked any star.
I know.
They picked her.
And she apparently got
no
permission to do it.
disrespect,
So.
Anna, if you're watching.
In their defense, now I'm kind of curious to watch it, whereas I've never really watched Dancing with the Stars before. So
Sure, they're playing chess.
It's
We're playing
working.
checkers. Yeah.
Well, music has lost another one. The rapper who goes by Rich Homie Quan has died.
So sad. So the Atlanta-based artist, whose real name was DeQuantis Lamar, was just 33 years old. Quan played a large role in bringing the trap subgenre of hip-hop to mainstream.
He's known for his 2013 hit Type Away, and in 2015 his song Flex became popular on the now defunct video social media platform Vine, and I did listen to that song this morning. Users posted videos of themselves imitating the dance moves used in the music video.
I know Josh was singing those songs in his head just now too.
Yes.
Yeah, well, no cause of death has been reported, but an autopsy is scheduled for today.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, local leaders and elected officials visited Cananel yesterday to look at a first-of-its-kind electric hybrid research vessel. Details are coming up.
And we have an update on the man accused in the shootings along I-5 in King and Pierce counties. We'll be right back in the next half hour with that. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, some progress in the gaming industry strike. Union workers began striking in July after negotiations with gaming giants came to a halt. Workers were concerned video game voice actors could be replicated by AI and then used without compensation. Well, yesterday the unions announced tentative agreements with the 80 individual video games, securing wage improvements and protections around AI. Next, New Mexico is suing Snapchat over its disappearing messages, alleging the platform helps predators target kids. The Attorney General claims images can be permanently saved and shared. Snapchat says it's reviewing the lawsuit and is committed to user safety. Finally, robot vacuums are leveling up. Roborock's new model can lift itself to handle thick rugs and even reach higher obstacles. It launches later this month for $1,400. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Hurry up, Dad! You've been in there forever.
I'm trying. This cheap stuff is too thin.
I told you not to get the other toilet paper. Here's Charmin Ultra Strong.
Ah, my bottom's been saved. Woohoo!
With its diamond weave texture, Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better with fewer sheets and less effort.
What's everybody waiting for? This?
Okay, hon, we know you're clean.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Sometimes you just need a moment. Self-care has never been this easy. Gummy vitamins from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Well, I think we're in for a pretty hot weekend, if I'm understanding that correctly. So I think we're going to have to find things to do that are indoors this weekend.
I saw some cooler weather coming. You were covering it at
Not
first.
quite yet, though.
There's a but. It's going to be hot, but next week it's going to be much cooler, much more fall-like. So, you know, good things come to those who wait. We just got to wait a little bit longer. Right now, you're taking it's a live look at the graphic, live look at temperatures, 50s and 60s right now across the map. The mid-60s are in the foothills of the Blues, so maybe you could get away with not having a light jacket there. I think the rest of us probably do need the lightest jacket, and a little bit later today, no jacket necessary. We're going to be up around 100 in the Tri-Cities. In fact, most spots on this graphic are going to be around 100, which means we're going to be about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. So we do have a heat advisory that's in place until 9 p.m. on Saturday. This could get extended until Sunday because Sunday is also going to be pretty hot. So here are some of the things that I want you to take heed of through the weekend. So if you're going to take the pets on a walk, the earlier the better. If the kids are going to be outside, be sure that you're keeping them hydrated. If you're going to be outside, specifically if you're going to be working outside, make sure that you're staying hydrated. Make sure that you're taking plenty of breaks in the shade. And also, please, please, please check on those vulnerable populations, specifically the elderly. So that is part one to the danger of this week. And part two is just how dry everything's going to be. I'll show you just how dry our vegetation is going to be in particular. And that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. We're starting off this half hour with an update on the man accused in a shooting spree along Interstate 5 in King and Pierce counties.
44-year-old Eric Perkins is now facing multiple charges for assault with a deadly weapon related to at least 8 shootings on I-5 and in the city of Bethel. These shootings left 6 people injured.
2 victims were hospitalized with gunshot wounds to the torso and to the neck. 3 others had non-life-threatening injuries to their legs, and 1 woman was hit in the eye with broken glass from the gunfire. As investigators develop more evidence, Perkins could see more charges.
An assault charge, you don't have to be hit by a bullet. You can be shot at, and that's a felony assault. The key is the evidence that we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt in each of those cases. But what we want to get in front of the court right away.
According to court documents, Perkins told investigators he borrowed a Glock 40 handgun from a friend because he believed people were stealing his identity, making threats, and following him. He also said, quote, the threats made him fear for his life.
Court records indicate Perkins believed he was being followed while driving, and people were trying to run him off the road, although Washington State Patrol says the shootings were likely random.
In Spokane County, the Freeman High School shooter will be resentenced today, just 1 week shy of 7 years since the shooting. Caleb Sharp was 15 years old when he shot and killed one of his classmates and injured 3 others. He was originally sentenced to 40 years in prison. A court of appeals vacated the sentence because state law says minors who commit a crime when they're under the age of 16 can't be required to serve a fixed term of more than 25 years in prison.
In continuing coverage, the father of the accused Appalachia High School shooter has been arrested and charged in connection with the crime. Colin Gray was booked into the Barrow County Detention Center Thursday evening on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. He's also facing 2 counts of second-degree murder and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
Gray has admitted to buying the AR-style rifle used in the mass shooting as a Christmas present for his 14-year-old son, Colt Gray. Colt will have his first court appearance today, and prosecutors plan to try him as an adult.
U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell joined local leaders and elected officials at the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory SQUIM Lab yesterday.
They were celebrating the dedication of the RV Resilience, a first-of-its-kind electric hybrid powered research vessel. When running on just electricity, the catamaran is almost completely silent and emissions-free, which will allow it to collect data without disturbing wildlife.
Scientists from PNNL will be using the Resilience to study the environmental impacts of harnessing marine energy.
In February, the Walla Walla community voted to pass the first ever capital levy in Walla Walla Public Schools history. This nearly $15 million project passed with a 58% vote.
Crews started earlier in the summer on the new amenities at Walla Walla High School, including the new turf fields, which are nearing completion. Our Riley Fitzgerald reports practices on the JV field have started, and athletes are thrilled to be on it.
Do you prefer to play football on this kind of ground or on a grass field?
On this ground right here.
Walla Walla Public Schools Superintendent Wade Smith says the committee for the outdoor athletic and activity facilities chose the top-of-the-line turf that's on the market. That is Hellas's Matrix Helix turf. And the safety testing came back, and the results speak for itself.
ASTM sets a max rate of 200 is a score of 200. The National Federation of Artificial Turf recommends about 165 or less. We actually came in at 95 as an average Gmax across our field, which is actually equivalent to the national football standards for natural grass fields. And so our field rivals a natural grass, state-of-the-art NFL field right here in Walla Walla Public Schools.
And the athletes are happy with it too. Practices have started on the JV field, while the varsity field is still under construction.
Every time you cut, I'm not afraid that I'm gonna slip and then fall on my butt. It's just a really nice, high-quality field.
Carter Chevelle, a senior Blue Devil football player, says the team can cut faster and run faster.
The quality is amazing, and having this new natural little bead stuff in the turf, way better than that stuff they have in Tri-Cities.
Many of our students participate in other artificial turf fields across the region, and most of them contain, again, the crushed rubber, which is black, and it just maintains the heat and sucks the moisture out of the air. This actually contracts and brings in the moisture and cools it down because of the color of the infill.
Those little beads, Chevelle mentioned, Superintendent Smith explains, are actually crushed olive pits. The committee spent a lot of time determining which infill to go with. The one they chose is a recyclable thermo blend.
It's a mixture of natural cellulose fibers and, believe it or not, crushed olive pits left over from the olive oil pressing process. And so when you combine those two together, it's an all-natural organic infill that's actually 30 degrees cooler than crushed rubber and completely recyclable.
Well, I mean, it's hot, but it's not as hot as the other turf fields that I've ever played on. I mean, those fields get piping hot to where it's you can't even sit on the ground.
The Trident JV field is completed and the varsity field is nearly there. Next up, more stadium amenities will be constructed. Crews are drilling for the first lights the school has had on any athletic field. Then there's the 2,500-person bleachers, a concession stand, restrooms, team rooms, and more on the way to Trident Field. In Walla Walla, I'm Riley Fitzgerald with Apple Valley News Now.
Superintendent Smith says the district hopes to get more than 15 years out of this field. The levy also includes replacing the Wah High tennis courts, building and the JROTC Raider course, and much more.
The varsity football team takes on Kamiakin on Friday at 7 o'clock, and that's a home game. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Wings Over Walla Walla is well underway, and we take an in-depth look at the event after the break.
Stacy Lee, KapKVU First Alert Weather. Watch tonight.
Craving our world-famous hand-rolled crisp burritos with creamy, bacony, chipotle, smoky goodness? Try our new smoky pork crisp burrito for a limited time. When you know what you want, anytime is taco time.
Dishwasher on the fritz. Laundry.
giving you fits. A water heater that quits. In a world without Culligan, hard water makes life harder. Get a Culligan softener, the world's best. Put your water worries to rest.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Hermiston, Road 68 in Pasco, and at the new location on West Court Street in Pasco. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at all 6 locations. Get the lowest prices on the largest selection of vape mods, classic to tropical vape flavors, batteries, cigars, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. Don't waste time in other places. Go to Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
I have prepared a Thomas's breakfast for you to savor together.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, are English muffins from England?
Heavens, no. They're from the pantry.
Are you from England?
Nay, I am also from the pantry. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
An accident can shatter your life. The award-winning team at Tamaki Law can put your life back together.
I'm attorney Brian Smith.
And I'm attorney Megan Hale. Thank you for voting us Yakima's first choice for personal injury, civil law, and best overall law firm.
We are honored and grateful to be part of this amazing community.
If you've been seriously injured, call Tamaki Law and get your life back.
These are real people seeking solutions to real problems.
I have plantar fasciitis.
Pain with my feet, my knees.
Feet, knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports.
I definitely feel the heel-to-toe walk.
I'm not feeling any pain, especially in my heel. That's where I always feel it.
I don't feel the knee pain. I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Oh, you're a blessing in disguise.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Craving our world-famous hand-rolled crisp burritos with creamy, bacony, chipotle, smoky goodness? Try our new smoky pork crisp burrito for a limited time. When you know what you want, anytime is taco time.
My name's Morgan Guillory. I'm a single mom with an IQ north of 160. Helping the cops solve a murder is literally the easiest part of my day.
I see you brought your child with you to a crime scene.
Got a dead body, gotta go.
AI, you hear about it every day, and it is growing. Let's find out more about it together.
This is the biggest technical advance in my lifetime.
Join me and leading experts for AI and the Future of Us, an Oprah Winfrey special, Thursday on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, so we have established that it's going to be hot for today, but I want to show you just how dry the vegetation is going to be for today. And remember, the 100th percentile would be the driest vegetation on record. So we're going to be up into the 90th percentile today for Kittitas and Yakima counties, up into the 81st percentile for the lower Columbia Basin, and into the 88th percentile in the Blue Mountains. And yesterday we did have a large fire start in the Blue Mountains, or I believe it technically is in the Blue Mountains, but in Morrow County in the Canyon Fire. Okay, so that's for today, but I'm much more concerned about Sunday because the breezes are going to be breezier and we will have thunderstorm chances. We'll also have a little chance for a thunderstorm in the Cascades on Saturday, but a more equal chance of thunderstorms on Sunday. And so here's what some of that lightning could be striking over in terms of how dry the vegetation could be. So 91st percentile for Kittitas and Yakima counties, 86th percentile for the lower Columbia Basin, where the chances for thunderstorms are a little bit lower compared to the valleys and the foothills and the mountains. But here's where I'm most concerned about things. Up in the Blue Mountains, up into the 94th percentile, and also a chance of thunderstorms for Sunday. So that fire start risk will be very real, but thankfully these numbers are going to go down as temperatures go down and as rain chances go up in the next week. And so I'll show you all those moving parts to the forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. An event involving airplanes and World War II history is underway at the Walla Walla Regional Airport.
Apple Valley News Now's Lucy Lobdell tells us about Wings Over Walla Walla.
It's all about planes, history, and community, according to Craig Woolham, founder of GW Distillery and one of the organizers for the Wings Over Walla Walla. The annual event from 1948 to 2004 was an air show, but when it was brought back 3 years ago, organizers took a different approach.
We wanted was something where people would be able to come to the planes and fly in the planes
And that way they have a really visceral experience to really have a connection to what people went through in the 1940s.
The main highlights this weekend are these two airframes, the P-40 Kitty Hawk and the AT-6 Texan from the Erickson Aircraft Collection in Central Oregon.
We have a static display, which includes several other private planes which come in just so people can see a lot of different airframes. So it's not all about these two, these are just the only two that you can fly in.
Craig says maintenance and fuel are expensive for these planes, and thus so are the tickets to ride in them. If you don't have the $1,000 to $2,000 for a flight, you can participate in the scavenger hunt or pay for a $40 raffle ticket to win a flight. But there's also more to see than the planes designed in 1930.
We only bring the ones up that people can take a ride in, so they have to be two-seaters or more, and that way it's a little bit more of a draw, as well as there's a way to actually defray the costs of having them come down.
There's public speakers, barbecuing, and conversations scheduled until Sunday when the planes depart. For Apple Valley News Now, I'm Lucy Lobdell.
Today, Rebecca Holm will be at the event to tell stories about the Women Air Force Service pilots.
More information about the event can be found at dwdistilling.net.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, scientists are learning more about one of Jupiter's moons.
We tell you what they recently found coming up in your morning sprint, but first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast.
Is that house-made guac going on a Carl's Jr. burger? Smooth, zesty, charbroiled beefy, melty pepper jack, cheesy, saucy temptation, crisp bacon too. I give. Give in to the guac bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. Big burger.
Good burger. At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we are having our summertime sales event. Discover our wide variety of buildings, including custom-build options to fit your unique needs. From now until the end of the month, get 20% off all our in-stock inventory. That's right. We offer free and fast delivery, and we're committed to unbeatable quality and service. Come visit Columbia Basin Building and Sheds in West Richland and Sunnyside for the best deals of the season.
The best bulls in the world have come to town. For bull riders, 8 seconds can make them a champion or nothing. It's bull time. Kennewick. Get your tickets now at pbr.com/tickets or Ticketmaster.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
It's the true crime story of the summer.
The trial of Karen Reed is now underway. She's accused of killing her boyfriend, a Boston police officer.
Pleading not guilty.
Now Karen Reed speaking out fully for herself. The all-new 2020 tonight on ABC.
Is that house-made guac going on a Carl's Jr. burger? Smooth, zesty, charbroiled beefy, melty pepper jack, cheesy, saucy temptation, crisp bacon too. I give. Give in to the guac bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. Big burger.
Good burger.
The Jets and the 49ers, Monday Night Football at 5 on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have another red flag warning that's in place for the Williams Mine Fire. This runs until 11 p.m. this evening. Remember, there was one in place yesterday, at least adjacent to the fire, and the fire really acted up, especially on the northern flank of the fire. So we're expecting some similar behavior possible for today. And it's just because it's going to be so hot and dry out there. It's why we have a heat advisory also in place. This runs until 9 p.m. on Saturday. I do think that there's a possibility that this could get extended until Sunday. Okay, for today, yeah, it's going to be hot out there. We'll be about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year, near 100 in the Tri-Cities. It's going to feel even hotter in the sunshine. We'll have plenty of that for today, and it's going to be some hazy sunshine as the haze will increase as opposed to yesterday. And then for tonight, overnight lows mostly dropping off into the 60s. Where we do have 50s on the map, it's upper, as upper 50 as you can get, 59 for the Tri-Cities. Okay, like I said, maybe the heat advisory could be extended until Sunday. It looks like we'll maybe be a smidge cooler by Sunday, but still about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. Then I'll switch sides of the graphic because I think you're much more interested in this side of the graphic, as we'll be about 5 to 10 degrees below average for a change. So feeling very fall-like by the time we get to the middle of next week. And that's going to come along with some shower chances increasing specifically for Wednesday. We definitely need the rain, but unfortunately before that, in the midst of this hot and dry pattern, we're going to have some thunderstorm chances on Saturday for the Cascades. On Sunday, pretty equally spread across the region. So the fire start risk will be very real, and they could spread very rapidly. Okay, here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Will be near 100 through Sunday, turning much cooler though by midweek next week. Then for Yakima, small thunderstorm chances for Sunday, but then a cooler and wetter pattern sets in for next week. And then for Ellensburg, dangerous fire weather set up on Sunday with the chance for lightning. And then also we'll be tracking very breezy conditions starting on Sunday. So kind of a double whammy in terms of the fire start potential. And then for Hermiston, triple-digit heat possible Friday and Saturday, but it'll feel like an entirely different season by the time we get to Wednesday. And then for Walla Walla, thunderstorm chances increasing for Sunday, trending much cooler after that with showers possible again by Wednesday and Thursday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:51. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
We're going to take you right to your 6 o'clock hour, but first up, here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Community partners in Yakima are revitalizing the Gang Reduction and Intervention Task Force. The task force, also known as GRIT, brought local organizations, authorities, and schools together to find ways to prevent youth gang violence. GRIT received some initial funding in 2018, but the program stalled when it ran out of money. Community partners are now working to recruit more people to help them make a difference moving forward.
Fire officials are investigating the cause of a fire on Bateman Island yesterday. The fire broke out around 3 p.m. and spread quickly because of the dry and windy conditions. Kennewick Fire, Benton County Fire District 4, and Richland Police were just a few of the agencies at the scene. We're working to learn more information and we'll bring you an update when we do.
A GoFundMe has been set up to support a Pasco family that lost everything in a house fire Tuesday night. The family of 11 had to leave their home because of a fire in the garage. According to the creator of the GoFundMe, everything in the house was lost to either fire or smoke damage. The family friend is hoping the community will donate to help fund the purchase of essentials and temporary housing.
The Grace Kitchen's biggest fundraiser of the year is coming up. The Grace Gala is on October 25th at 6 p.m. at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick. It's the 3rd annual gala where the community raises money to support the women in employment at the Grace Kitchen. It's a nonprofit that gives survivors of trafficking, addiction, homelessness, and poverty the opportunity to get a job and learn important life skills.
The Wings Over Walla Walla event is underway at the Walla Walla Regional Airport. Various planes will be on display at Gorge Aviation. You can even catch a ride on 2 World War II era planes. If you can't afford the $1,000 flight, there is a $40 raffle and a scavenger hunt to win a flight.
In your national headlines this morning, today the New York judge overseeing former President Donald Trump's hush money case will announce his decision on whether to delay Trump's sentencing to a later date, and the timing of the decision comes after Trump's lawyers asked a federal appeals court this week to stop sentencing until after Election Day. According to a court filing, the former president is currently scheduled to be sentenced on September 18th.
Earlier this year, Trump was convicted of 34 charges of falsifying records that stemmed from the hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The former president is fighting to move the state case to federal court.
Hunter Biden pleaded guilty to all 9 charges in his federal tax case yesterday, and the district judge in LA has accepted his plea. Sentencing is scheduled for December 16th. The prosecution did not object to the date, which was proposed by the judge.
The president's son has now officially pleaded guilty to 1 count of felony tax evasion, 2 counts of felony filing fraudulent tax returns. 4 misdemeanor counts of failing to pay taxes and 2 misdemeanor counts of failing to file tax returns. The guilty plea came in an all-day hearing on the same day that his trial was supposed to begin with jury selection.
The Starliner spacecraft is scheduled to come home tonight, weather permitting. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams are staying on the ISS.
The astronauts are scheduled to return in a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule in February. However, NASA says a modified Dragon capsule will remain with the ISS in case of an emergency.
In your business headlines, the Department of Transportation has launched a formal investigation into the frequent flyer programs of 4 big airlines. That's American, Delta, Southwest, and United.
The CEOs are being asked to send data on how passengers can accrue and spend frequent flyer miles. This is to see how customers are affected by the devaluation of earned points, extra fees, hidden pricing, and reduced choices. The airlines have 90 days to provide all the documents. In your health headlines, thousands of drug manufacturing plants are overdue for FDA inspections. AP has found about 2,000 pharmaceutical manufacturing firms have gone without an inspection since before the pandemic.
The COVID-19 pandemic is being blamed for the backlog as it shut down inspections worldwide. The overdue plants make hundreds of critical medicines, including antibiotics, blood thinners, and cancer therapies.
In your sports headlines this morning, the series finale for the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland A's took place last night.
The Mariners won 6-4 to split the series in Oakland. Meanwhile, the Houston Astros lost again, so Seattle is just 4.5 games back of first place in the AL West with 21 games to go.
Soccer legend Cristiano Ronaldo makes history once again, becoming the first man to score 900 goals. It happened in Portugal's UEFA Nations League match against Croatia yesterday.
Portugal went on to beat Croatia 2-1, and according to ESPN, Lionel Messi sits in second place with 842 goals, and Brazilian legend Pelé is third with 765 goals.
All right, check this out. New research is shining a light on the solar system's largest moon.
The study published in the Scientific Reports journal on Tuesday says a major asteroid may have crashed into Jupiter's moon. It's called Ganymede, and roughly 4 billion years ago is what they're saying. It caused its axis to shift. Some astronomers say that's why there's a pattern of concentric circles on Ganymede's surface.
More information on the moon is on the way eventually. The Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer from the European Space Agency is on track to reach Jupiter's solar system by 2031.
Just incredible what they can find out.
Did you know it has 95 moons, Jupiter? I bet we learned that in like 5th grade, but I forgot it.
That's fascinating.
That's crazy.
We only need one.
Yeah. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, several crashes occurred in Tri-Cities during afternoon rush hour yesterday, and we have the details on all of them.
And the father of the accused Georgia school shooter has been arrested and charged in connection with the crime. We have the update.
Today is going to be hot and dry. I'll tell you just how hot, and I'll show you what hot and dry weather did to the Williams mine fire yesterday. That's going to be coming up at 6.